How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Almost Intellectual. I have a special episode for you today. This is going to be my first podcast-style episode. Today I have Matt Rael from The Killer Jackalope.
Hey, guys.
Basically, we're going to be talking about Section 230 and a lot of social media censorship and censorship on YouTube. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Matt, go ahead and explain to me what happened with Dude That's Lewd ASMR, I believe.
Yeah, So, Dude That's Lewd was doing a Spooktober event. She was doing a lewd video every day of October. She was coming up to the end of her, it. And I want to say 2 or 3 days before Spooktober was over, her account got taken down. Or it might have been a little before that, but her account gets taken down. And I make my Drunken Rambly video about it, and actually, less than 6 days later, it's 6 days later, they reinstate her account. But it was so weird. They brought her account back, but in less than 12 hours, they took it back down again.
See, I find that really weird. So, ASMR, for all you people who don't know, it's kind of like an art form at this point that's become very soft sounds to get people to sleep. Now, I understand that Dude That's Lewd is a little bit more of a sexual connotation to those videos.
Oh yeah, well she's got her lewd channel, and then she's got an alternate channel called Dude That's Wholesome, where she doesn't do lewd content. Some of the wholesome stuff might get a little suggestive, but if anything sexual happens, it's on her other channel, which she would always label 18+.
Mm.
So
yeah, so she labeled all these 18+. I don't see why YouTube would be taking them down. I mean, did they do anything specific? Was there any kind of hate speech violations? Was she talking about the election wrong?
No, she didn't. She never.
Okay, let me ask you: does she support Donald Trump?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't. And I even actually had some people saying in my comments that she probably tweeted something pro-Trump. If you go on her Twitter, all she ever talks about on her Twitter are her videos, or she shows off fan art that people make of her that she really enjoys. She's really into werewolves. She likes werewolves and big throbby werewolf. I won't say anymore.
Thank you. I do want to keep my show kind of wholesome. I'd rather not label it as 18+.
She labels her Twitter 18+, and she actually has put up all of her content, wholesome and lewd, on her own website. I don't have the name for it, but we can find it and put the link for it in your video.
Oh yeah, I could probably put it. I will link that in the description.
You can go on. She has all her content online still. You can go on and listen to all of it. She's got it backlogged. And then, other than her Twitter and her own website, she's got her Patreon, where you can support her financially if you choose. And she sells merch on Teespring, I think.
Oh, I actually like Teespring. I've been thinking about opening up a page there because they use a lot of American-made products.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not promoting Teespring in any way here right now. I just been looking at them lately. Yeah. Anyway, so I understand that your page has actually kind of grown a lot from your recent video.
Yeah, that video kind of exploded overnight. In less than 24 hours, it was up to 2.4 thousand views.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Now currently it's at 32,000, I think, when we just checked it.
Yeah, I think we looked at it.
I didn't look at the comments, but there's a good amount of comments on there too. Mainly people telling me I'm a bro. This guy's the hero we deserve. It's guys, I was just doing a drunken rant video, but I really appreciate the support. It makes me feel good.
Well, and a lot of people are actually continuing to watch your videos. It must feel good to actually have a little bit of a upbringing from that, even though it came from such a bad thing. Something you like so much being removed. But
yeah, and I feel it does feel bad. Gaining what little fame you do gain off of the misery of other people. It's kind of like what the media does. yeah, it really does.
Hey,
I'm just doing what CNN does, guys. Calm down.
Oh man, I can tell you how much my audience knows about that. But anyway, so have you had any of your viewed videos removed, or any of your comments specifically striked, or anything like that?
Comments on other people's content, yes, mainly just because of what I commented. YouTube doesn't like... Okay, I got a really good example for you. One time, somebody asked, how many dogs do you have, and what color is their fur? So I commented, I have 3 black dogs and 1 white dog. The comment got taken down. They don't like that you mention how many dogs you have and what color they happen to be.
Oh, wow. You can't even say I have 3 black dogs.
I can't even say in the comments of YouTube that I have 3 black dogs.
That's ridiculous. I bet if it was just the one white dog, it would have been fun.
Oh, yeah, no, if I had one white dog, I could have dozens of white dogs. I could say I have white dogs that I whip and beat. But if I say I have a black dog that I take good care of, that's a big no-no.
Yep. I agree. So that actually kind of brings us to our next point, this whole Section 230 thing. What do you kind of think about how it applies to YouTube and stuff? So it's really originally meant to kind of protect internet service providers and internet services themselves, such as YouTube and Facebook, but in a way that is fair use and in such a way that is only really harmful to the public and what is obscene and lewd and things like that. Now, YouTube's argument is that Dude That's Lewd might actually go against something that would be obscene, but it says specifically that as long as you label it as over 18, then it's all right. Yeah. Yet they went back on their rule. Yeah. So what do you think? Does Section 230 really apply to them in this case?
No, it shouldn't. Again, she labeled her content 18 plus. Her theory on her Twitter is that her daily uploads triggered their bot into thinking that she was spamming. My theory is that if some overprotective mom caught their kid doing something they shouldn't have been doing, and instead of being a parent, they relied on YouTube to do the parenting.
Yeah, and I think that's, like, people asked me, I was talking to one of my friends just the other day about, would I let my kids watch YouTube, and, like, I said, absolutely, I mean, and then they're like, I'm not going to let them watch it because there's just too much stuff going on. I'm like, well, you let them watch TV, you supervise them when you let them watch TV, though, so that they don't put on either very dumbing down stuff, like I wasn't allowed to watch Power Rangers when I was a kid. Or
Power Rangers would have been better.
Even finding some of the lewd stuff or some of the nasty stuff that we have on TV these days on broadcast channels, it gets crazy. So it's like the same thing at this point, is you do whatever you're letting your kids do, you need to make sure to watch them.
You know, I was never a big Power Rangers fan, but that was messed up of your parents not to let you watch Power Rangers, because that was way better than a lot of the shit we had growing up.
Hey, I watched a lot of very good stuff, though. I watched, like, I think the dumbest thing I watched was Hercules, the Disney animated one, and that's still a pretty good movie. But I watched good movies, like, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now, I probably shouldn't have been watching The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly as a kid.
No, that teaches you good life lessons.
It does.
What they are at this moment, I can't quite say. Well, what good accuracy is one of them.
Do you think that Section 230 should be repealed entirely, like Donald Trump has been saying?
See, I don't have much of an opinion on Section 230. I'm just not a big fan of censorship in any way, shape, or form. Maybe Section 230 can be looked at and not repealed, but reformed in a way.
So I think that that's what Section 230 was originally intended to do anyway, was to allow these places to allow us our freedom of speech without them being liable for being sued. And it, and only moderate it based on, what was the phrase exactly here? In good faith.
Yeah.
And they're just, I don't believe they're doing it in good faith. I think this Dude That's Lewd ASMR shows that it's not in good faith, because she followed all of the designated rules.
She followed all of YouTube's rules. She labeled her content 18 plus. She provided links to her other stuff that was 18 plus. She never actually commented on anybody's content on that channel, so she wouldn't respond to anybody. She was strictly professional. And there are other 18 plus channels on YouTube, ASMR and otherwise, that are still up, that are still allowed to do what they're doing, and I don't want them taken down. But why is it okay for Cardi B to sing about her WAP, but I can't listen to a girl suck on a banana for 10 minutes?
That's a very, very good point. And I'd like to compare it to the phone company. Like, it's not like the phone company is taking people's, we all know that people have, phone sexual interactions.
Oh yeah.
It's not like the phone company is going in and saying that you can't do that, or phone sex
We've all seen those old commercials
when we were the kids
on Comedy Central. Hey, are you lonely? Call 1-800-SEX-LINE and we'll talk dirty to you for $50 a minute. I remember those commercials. They always made me laugh.
Oh yeah, those were very hilarious. I liked those commercials. They were really funny, just how persuasive they were trying to be to get you to call this.
No, my favorite in level of persuasivity, or is that a word? Persuasiveness, were the Girls Gone Wild ones, because they would show you the entire episode but censor it. So they're like, you want to see this, don't you, motherfucker?
You want to watch it?
You want to see this, don't you? $29.99.
You want to watch it more than once, don't you?
They'd show the whole episode. They'd just censor everything, and they would try to get you to buy. That's how they would try to get you to buy Girls Gone Wild. And then once internet porn really took off, Girls Gone Wild was gone. I don't even know if they still exist.
Well, I mean, internet porn must have just crushed that industry.
I bet.
Once again, big industry is crushed by these gigantic tech industries these days. Are just ruling everything. Even the porn industry. Nobody buys a porn magazine.
I was just about to say, I don't go into bookstores very often, but when I do, and I go by, I see the magazines. You'll still see them every now and then, and I just chuckle when I see them, and it's like, why bother?
Yeah.
Why bother wasting the money on the paper?
That strippers.
Strippers.
That OnlyFans must be killing strippers.
I never got strippers to begin with. I mean, well, I guess, or before, pre-internet days, I guess I could see going to a strip club. And now that we have the internet, strip clubs, I don't get how they're still in business. Maybe because they sell alcohol and they have cheap food.
I guess so, because I've had friends that have tried to invite me to a strip club before, and it seemed like that they wanted to go there for the cheap booze, but also that there's dancing chicks.
Hey guys, come on! There's wings.
I didn't get it.
There's wings and beer, and you might also get chlamydia.
Very irate of that. So let's go ahead and move on.
Hey, it's a scientific term.
Let's just let's talk about like how Facebook has just been censoring a bunch of crap lately.
Oh yeah, no. If you post a comic that even mentions Joe Biden or Trump, you'll get a little notice at the bottom. The AP has decided the election for Joe Biden. Hey, Associated Press, you don't cite shit.
Yeah, sorry, that's not how the country works. That and just how like the fact checks oftentimes just fact check themselves. It's not even a fact check. Like I've been doing a segment with my own personal Facebook channel.
Hey, man, babe.
So I've been doing this segment with my own personal Facebook channel that kind of basically I just go onto people's posts that have a fact check on it, and I just put fact check in the fact checkers, and actually put the real information. Where in the 6th paragraph, halfway down the article, it actually shows that this is actually absolutely true. You just contextualized it. And that's it.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And it's usually not any better in the context they put it in.
People don't read the whole article. They read the top. They'll read the title, and then they might read the first paragraph.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, it's a huge problem.
Yep. It's exactly like I could say that Matt smokes methamphetamine and marijuana, and like put that as a meme, and they'll fact check it and say that this is. Matt smokes pot, and then they'll fact check this and say the meme says that Matthew Rael smokes pot and methamphetamine. This is mostly false because he doesn't actually smoke methamphetamine. There's no proof of this. And while there is small amounts of proof that he may have smoked pot or still does, this meme is false. When in reality, it's probably closer to true.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, I was on Ritalin as a kid, and that's basically just doctor-prescribed meth. So.
Yeah, so somebody will say that. You know, like, Matt, when he was in high school, smoked pot and was on meth. And was on Ritalin. And then the fact check will reference meth, not Ritalin.
Yeah. And
say that it's mostly false. When technically the meme was true, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
It's technically true.
Yeah. It was true, but the thing said that it wasn't because it reframed the whole argument.
Yeah.
And said something that the meme never said. Or applied an opinion or an intent to a person that never meant that intent or opinion.
Yeah.
And then calls that adding context. In reality, they've done nothing. All they've done is applied motive to somebody else.
Right.
And I think that that's what they've done with this young lady that mostly...
Hold on, wait. Fact check, David. On her Twitter, it clearly says that he is a 7-foot-tall black man. And I am not going to allow you to misgender him again.
Dude, that's Lewd ASMR is actually a guy?
It is actually a 7-foot-tall black man. Don't let the live streams where you get to see her clearly white legs. It's a black man.
Oh, okay. Okay, I see. Well, your clearly white legs right there too, right? Okay, there we go. Well...
I'm actually a 7-foot black man as well. I identify Yes, it's at
That's all right. I have a friend that identifies as a attack helicopter. So
Oh no, I'm a weaponized battle toaster.
I've never even heard of that one.
Oh.
Well, see, now gender's a spectrum. That's what they say,
Well,
right?
there's unlimited genders.
And there's unlimited genders. I mean, you can see so many different videos of that and literally talking about that. It's ridiculous. And I can't believe that they don't fact check any of
They
that.
don't fact check any of that. But they'll fact check other stuff.
I can identify.
Fact check, there are only 2 genders. Oh shit!
Oh my god. So that's why I do this channel, everybody, is to really, really get down to the truth. And this is going to be a new segment of mine. Next week, I'm going to be doing a podcast with a guy who was just at the Washington, D.C. riots, protests, whatever you want to call them at this point. I don't even know what the definition
Peaceful protests.
is. Peaceful protests, yeah.
That happened to result in a lot of property theft.
Yeah. Well, no, okay, so down in Washington, D.C., it's the Million MAGA March. So,
Okay, yeah, no, the
they're calling it riots.
So when we peacefully protest, it's riots.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And apparently there's a lot of fights down there.
I heard a guy got stabbed.
Yeah, actually in D.C., a guy got shot, and then in Washington State, 4 people got stabbed.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so, and he actually was involved in some of the things in Washington State. I'm not saying those things. I'm saying he has been to a lot of the protests and a lot of the movements in Oregon and Washington, and he is a Trump supporter. I'll be talking to him hopefully on Thursday. Yeah, so we'll see you guys later. Have a good day. Say bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.